Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard Tactics video. So before we get into today's video, I just want to say a super huge thank you to Jamie Warren for sending in these absolutely awesome pictures of his Death Corps of Krieg. I don't think I've quite seen so many fully built and painted Death Corps infantrymen. That's absolutely fantastic. Proper Death Corps army there. Love just a very traditional army that's in general. Lots of infantry, some really cool officers, and of course boatloads of artillery. Really interesting model is this observation balloon. I'm really interested to know how you built that, because that's absolutely fantastic. And if you could let me know what it represents in the battlefield, or if it's just a cool model, that's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, absolutely great army there, Jamie. Really appreciate you sending in the pictures. If anyone else has any pictures they want to send in, any cool pictures, please put them on my Facebook page. There's a link in the description. And I'll take a look. I'll try and reply. I may not use all of them, but if there's any particularly cool ones or awesome army shots, that'd be great. I love action shots. So if any action shots of guardsmen in close combat or forming a firing line, something like that, they're my favourite ones. But a good old army display is also pretty awesome. So thank you once again, Jamie, and let's get into the meat of the video. So today's video we're going to be talking about Imperial Guard and Psykers. Basically, you could almost consider this like a Psychic 101 video. It's essentially those of you who are maybe new to the Imperial Guard or who are first branching into Psykers for the first time. It's really important to know what we have at our disposal and where to avoid certain pitfalls. So, essentially, the Imperial Guard has 3 Psychic units available to it. You have the Primaris Psyker, the Astropath, and the Word Vein Psyker Squad. So the first two, the Primaris and the Astropath, they are characters, okay? And they're pretty good. The Primaris is the better of the two characters, and he costs he costs 28 points base, but you must buy him a Force Stave, which is 12 points. You must buy him that. So his actual cost is 40 points. Now so an Astropath in the Codex it will say 15 points, but as per the Guard FAQ, their points got increased to 30 points. So there's basically a 10-point difference between the two units. Now, obviously, the Primaris Psyker is going to be better. You're paying 10 points more for him. Okay. And I think if we take a look at the actual units side by side, the Primaris Psyker has Weapon Skill 3 plus Ballistic Skill 3 plus Strength 3, Toughness 3, 4 wounds, 3 attacks in close combat, Leadership 8, and a 5+ save. Now, because you had to take that Force Stave, which is plus 2 Strength, so his Strength 5, minus 1 AP, D3 damage, which is basically D3 damage power maul, actually makes this guy relatively good beat stick. I mean, he's actually quite good at bopping characters on the head. He can also attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in each friendly psychic phase and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. It knows Smite and 2 other psychic powers from the Psyker discipline, which we're looking at later. So basically, quite a good character, and 3 powers including Smite. But the main problem I have with the Primaris is you can only cast 1 and only deny 1. Okay. Now, if we move on to the Astropath, you'll immediately see that this guy's stats are not very good. He's got Weapon Skill 5+, Ballistic Skill 6+. He's only got 3 wounds. He's got 1 attack, and he's only got a 6+ save. So he's way less Weapon Skill, way less Ballistic Skill, 1 less wound, 1 less save. Now, the Astropath is armed with a Telepathicus Stave, which is absolutely crap. It's +1 strength, no AP, D3 damage, and you have to pay 6 points for that. So if you pay for that stave, there's only a 4-point difference between the Astropath and the Primaris. Never pay for that stave. War gear options, this model may replace its Telepathicus Stave with a las pistol, which is free. Always do this, okay? This guy is never, ever, ever going to win any close combats. He has 1 attack which he hits on Weapon Skill 5+. Always take the las pistol. Always. Now, the Psyker can also attempt to manifest one psychic power in each phase and attempt to deny one psychic power, and it knows Smite and one other power from the Psyker discipline. Now, the disadvantage of the Astropath is each time when you're trying to cast Smite, you're only allowed to roll 1d6 instead of 2d6. Okay, so rather than having 2d6 and trying to get a 5+, you only get 1d6, which means you only have a 33% chance of casting Smite with this guy. He is not a smiter. However, one absolutely amazing rule that the Astropath has is Astral Divination. At the start of the shooting phase, pick an enemy unit within 8 inches of this model. For the duration of the phase, the unit you picked gains no bonus of saving throws for being in cover when it is targeted by attacks made by friendly Astral Time units within 6 inches of this model. That's absolutely fantastic. However, I don't want to go into that now. This video is specifically talking about Psykers and psychic powers, okay? I'll do a separate video on how you can leverage the Astropath's Astral Divination very well. Now, the last unit is the Word Vane Psyker. These things are absolutely dog shit bad. I mean, you can't. I think they're the worst unit, including the what the hell do you call it? The Death Strike Missile. Okay, so basically, you have to take 3 of these things. If they're 3 in a unit, you can add up to 6, so you can have a 9-man unit. They have to take Word Vane staves. I don't even know how much they are. I've literally never considered them. They're this bad. I took one look at them. Word Vane Psyker. I can't even find them in the book. That's how bad they are. They're not even included in here. There you go. They're 8 points a model. And they're 8 points a model. So a unit of 3 is 24 points. Now, each time you take a psychic test or deny the witch test for this unit, roll 1d6 or 2d6. You can add 1 to the psychic test if you have 3 or more models, or 2 if it has 6 or more models. So it's still terrible. It's 1d6. At best, it's 1d6 plus 2. That still only gives you a 50% chance of casting Smite. Now, it's just awful. I'm not even going to go into it. We're not even going to consider Word Vanes. Okay, they're that bad. For the point of a unit that cannot reliably cast any psychic powers and is a psychic unit, is awful. We're just not going to consider it. Okay, so that realistically leaves us with 2: the Primaris and the Astropath. Okay, now before we go on to which one I think you should be taking in your army, okay, we should have a look at the powers that they actually have available to them. Okay, very quickly. You've got Terrifying Visions, it's got Warp Charge value of 7, choose an enemy unit with an 18 Psyker and it subtracts 2 from its leadership. You've got Gaze of the Emperor, which is a Warp Charge value of 6, it's manifested draw a straight line, 2d6, long directly away from the Psyker. Roll dice for each model, blah blah. You know what, I'm not even going to go through all the psychic powers. I'm just going to go through the ones which are actually any good. Okay? Terrifying Visions, wouldn't bother with. Gaze of the Emperor, wouldn't bother with. We've got enough firepower, we don't need Gaze of the Emperor. Mental Fortitude, situational at best, can be used to make a blob of 30 conscripts fearless, but as conscripts complete dog shit, not really going to be worried about it. Now, Psychic Maelstrom is an interesting one. It's basically an alternative version of Smite, but you don't have to pick the nearest enemy model, and you roll a d6, and on a 2+, you do a wound, and then on a 3+, you do a wound, and a 4+. It's good, but it's pricey to get off. But it is a good set middle tier power. The 2 powers, however, that you really want to get your hands on are Psychic Barrier and Night Shroud. Okay? Now the reason these are really, really good is because they make your key units more durable. So if you've got a super heavy or a Lemurus tank commander or anything like that, a big damage dealer that you don't want to die, you can use these 2 powers to keep them alive. Psychic powers, warp charge value of 6. If manifested, select a friendly Ashmore unit within 12 inches of the Psyker until the start of your next phase. Add 1 to that unit's saving throws. Basically, you get 2+ save on your Baneblade or Tank Commander. It does stack with cover. Night Shroud. Night Shroud has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, use a friendly Ashmore unit within 12 inches of the Psyker until the start of your next turn. Any enemy unit that targets a chosen unit with a ranged weapon suffers -1 penalties to hit. This does combine with smoke launchers, so you can strike and so you can put Night Shroud on your tank commander, then order him to strike and shroud, so he shoots and then pops smoke, and your tank commander becomes -2 to hit. Very, very durable. So they're the two that you want. Now the reason they're the two that you want is it basically comes down to the basic principle of using Imperial Guard, using Psykers in the Imperial Guard. It's kind of like, how to put this, the Imperial Guard is not a psychic focused army. We have some Psykers, but we are not known for our domination of the psychic phase. Not like Grey Knights or Thousand Suns or Chaos in general or Eldar. And to a certain extent, Tyranids. There's as you can, I've listed 5 factions of there which have significantly greater access to strong Psykers. Okay? Imperial Guard don't have access to that. We have access to 3, but only really 2 decent, okay, middle-ish Psykers. So our job isn't to dominate the psychic phase. Our job is to be able to hold our own in the psychic phase. Essentially what you want is you just want to be taking a couple of cheap Psykers to be able to have some kind of psychic defense that will allow you to stop a couple of the enemy's key powers. Now maybe you're not going to be able to stop every smite. You're not going to be able to stop every power that the enemy has. But for example, tell you how you stop smite. You have infantry up front. You don't care if you lose D3 or D6 guardsmen to smite. You don't matter. You've got rank upon rank of them protecting your proper units. But you would care about something like warp time, which would allow an enemy to get a good charge on you. You would care about the power that Magnus has, where he gets a stupid 3+ save. You would care about there's always some powers that psychic heavy armies have. Maybe you don't want that enemy hive time to get catalyst. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you don't want all your units start taking mortal wounds from that Nurgle's rot power. Maybe you don't want that. That's too many. That's too many mortal wounds that are getting thrown around. That's going to cut through your chaff too quickly. There's always going to be a couple of powers, 2 or 3 powers that your opponent's going to cast every turn that are going to really, really hurt you. And all you want to be able to do is deny those powers. You just want to have enough psychic defense to be able to stop that. Just when you absolutely need it. Okay? So to that end, despite the fact that the Primaris Psyker is so much better than an Astropath in terms of its stat line, I would say the best Psyker the Imperial Guard has access to in terms of its intended role is the Astropath. Yes, you'll say if you take 2 Astropaths, you're saving 20 points. Okay? And that Astropath is going to be doing exactly the same. There's only 2 decent powers in the book anyway. Psychic Power and Night Shroud. So you're going to take both of them. Now that way you can attempt to cast both of your powers every turn and be able to cast denied 2 enemy powers every turn. Fantastic. Now something like saying, but the Primaris, you take 1 Primaris, you can get both Psychic Barrier and Night Shroud on 1 model, and then you're saving yourself. Then you also save yourself 20 points because 40 points for 1 Primaris or 60 points for 2 Astropaths. This is true. But the Primaris can only deny 1 power, so you've got half the ability to deny your opponent, which is bad. Not a lot of psychic defense there, and you only can cast 1 of those powers anyway. So not a lot of good on your in your own psychic phase. So I would say nearly every Imperial Guard army should be taking 2 Astropaths. Okay, they're just good. Okay, they're just good. And even in my Steel Legion list, where I every point, every penny is distilled and used, and there's not a single wasted point in my proper tournament Steel Legion list. I make room for an Ashpath. Just the one. Because I need that. That is the bare minimum psychic defense. Because I know there's going to be one power that my opponent's going to have every game that is going to absolutely screw me, and I just want my psychic to be able to defend against that. You know, originally I had 2 Ashpaths in that list, but then they got doubled in points cost, so then I had to go down to 1. I couldn't scrape the points from anywhere else, sadly. Now, that's basically it, guys. I don't want to go on too much. Essentially, this video has covered the kind of Psykers we have, the powers that are worth, the Psykers that are worth a damn, the powers that are worth a damn, and how you want to implement them on the battlefield. So I've tried to keep it comprehensive, yet informative. I don't want to miss too many points out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave lots and lots of comments. Tell me how you guys use Psykers in your army. I know most Guard players should take a couple. If those of you are wondering where to get the models from, I know that officially you can go on the Games Workshop website and you can get the regimental advisors, and there's one Ashpath in like three mod. You buy 3 models, you get one official Ashpath. Fuck that. Go and buy the Word Vein Psyker models. Okay, they used to be called Sanctioned Psykers. They are, you get for like, I think it's £6 or £8. You get 3 Psyker models. Okay, just go and get those 3 Psyker models. Boom, you're done. I bought 2 packs of those, 6 Psykers, half of the Ashpath, half of Primaris. Awesome. I haven't had to get anything else, and it was so cheap. Don't go and buy the official Primaris model. For the same price, you can get 3 of the old style Primaris, you know, the old style Psykers. Okay, I'll try and remember to leave a link in the video for anyone who's wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.